eo anno etiam Alexandria ab Alexandro Macedone condita est. Salvete, viatores, and welcome back to Let's Translate Eutropius Breviarium Historiae Romanae ab orbe condita. That may be the last sentence of this chapter, but that's the one I am most looking forward to getting to. So, last time, we read about another hero of the Roman Republic, Marcus Valerius Corvinus, and how he defeated a Gaul using a crow in single combat. And now, because I want to get to Alexander, let's get right into it with Latini, qui noluerant milites dare. So, Latini, the Latins, it is our subject. It can be different things given that ending, but it is our subject here. Qui, relative clause, noluerant milites dare. If you remember the previous chapter, it kind of left us hanging a little bit, left a little thread for us to follow and follow through here. Qui, who, noluerant, did not want milites soldiers dare to give, who did not want to give soldiers. So, as if you saw or read the last chapter, the Latins did not want to give soldiers when the Romans asked for them to help fight against the Gauls. So the Romans had to raise soldiers, had to levy troops themselves. So the Latins, who did not want to give soldiers, I guess, object, verb, hoc quoque a Romanis exigere quepurunt. Hoc is this, we don't know exactly what it's doing yet, but we will see. Quoque is a conjunction, meaning also. So, this is also happening. A Romanis, prepositional phrase right there. Exigere looks like an infinitive to me, and quepurunt is our verb. That's a big V. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Boop, boop. So, let's start. Well, first, quoque, also. Quepurunt is perfect, third person, not singular, plural. So, also, had begun, exigere, I think it's to demand, a Romanis, from the Romans, and hoc makes most sense as the object here, this. Had begun, or not had begun because it's perfect, not pluperfect, also began to demand this from the Romans. Ut, and then we don't know exactly what ut is going to do, so let's look a little forward, see if we do have subjunctive and not indicative. Ut does something different depending on whether the verb it's going with is in the indicative mood or the subjunctive mood. Here we have the subjunctive, so it's showing purpose. That unus consul ex eorum, alter ex Romanorum populo crearetur. So one consul from of them. Ex is a preposition, which is why I put the parentheses there. But ex does not take the genitive. So this is a bit odd. Let's keep going. Alter, ex, there's ex again, Romanorum. Again, ex does not go with the genitive. So what we've got is populo. Populo is in the ablative. That is the case that ex takes. So really, populo here is being used twice, just not being stated twice. And crearetur, our main verb for this phrase, it is created, or I guess you could even say elected. It's imperfect subjunctive, third person singular, passive. So they ask this, that one consul be created from, you could say from them, but it's literally from, using the populo from later, from the people, eorum, of them, from their people, alter, the other, from the people of the Romans, from the Roman people. So essentially, the Latins are asking the Romans, hey, we are part of, like, we've been under you for a while. We would like more say in what happens. So, can we please have one of the consuls be from our people, and the other can be from your people? According to Livy, they also asked for, like, half of the Senate to be from the Latins. But, quodcum esset negatum. It's kind of weird. Let's quote as since, because, which. It's a conjunction here. And we'll see what best works in a second. Cum esset negatum. Cum does not have an ablative, so it's not a preposition. It's not saying with. So it has to be a conjunction as well. When esset, it was negatum, rejected. So I guess because when it was rejected, or since when it was rejected, something like that. I don't know if you need to translate the quote. The quote kind of complicates this and makes it weird sounding in English. But nevertheless, yeah, Romans not happy with that. They are not going to be taking that. Bellum contra eos susceptum est. Et, that's a conjunction for the next phrase. Let's wait for a second. So, bellum, a war, contra eos, against them, susceptum est. If I recall correctly, that's taken up? Yeah. A war was taken up against them. Et, and, ingenti pugna, superati sunt. I think ingenti can be ablative, and pugna, that can be the ablative form for that. Could be taken as like an ablative absolute? Because ingens, that's a participle if I recall correctly. Maybe not. Maybe not. But it's definitely two ablatives, and it's being sort of like... It's supposed to be saying in a huge battle, or in a large battle. Superati sunt. They were literally, like, overtaken. But you can say, like, they were defeated. So, when the demand was rejected, a war was taken up against them, and in a huge battle, they were defeated, or they were overtaken. Ac, and de his perdomitis triumphatum est. And a triumph was had on account of these... Oh wait, no, this is a weird thing. So with triumphatum, or triumphatum if you want to go with a more classical pronunciation, this is a later Latin work, so I'm going with a more later pronunciation. Triumphatus, or triumphatum. Perdomitis, no, not perdomitis. Perdomitus means, like, the conquered, the defeated. But, de, in this context, in the context of a triumph, means, like, over. So, like a triumph was had over these defeated peoples. Or something like that. In fact, I'm going to take a second to make sure, because I know it's a very different thing. And very specific usage of this word. Yeah, so it's like a triumph was had over these defeated people. So yeah, it's a very specific usage of the day that I had not seen before this. But I guess you could, like, technically, you could say a triumph was had on account of these defeated peoples. Because, like, on account of they were defeated. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to say over these defeated peoples. Statuae consolibus ob meritum victoriae in rostris positae sunt. So statues are our subject. Consolibus, dative or ablative. Ob meritum victoriae in rostris positae sunt. Perfect passive participle here. So statues were placed on the rostra. The rostra was like a special thing in the forum, essentially like a speaker's platform. And it would be an honor to get like statues there, and yeah. So, right, okay, this is one where you can sort of interpret it different ways, or at least from my understanding, you can interpret it two different ways, specifically with Victoriae. Victoriae can be one of two things. I'm not sure which one is technically right, if there is a right answer. Actually, now I'm not so sure. So what I was thinking was Victoriae could modify statuae, going with that. So victory statues. Either that or maybe statues of victory? I don't know, but Victoria, victory, that should be pretty clear. But I was thinking either statues of victory or victory statues, considering they'd be able to agree in gender, number, and case. But it's not really an adjective? I thought it was. For some reason, but it's not. It is only a noun. So I think what's the more plausible way to translate this is ob meritum victoriae, on the merit of the victory. So putting it more together, statues were placed on the rostra for the consuls on the on the merit of the victory, or of their victory, if you want to make it a bit more natural in English. So yeah, for the full sentence, statues were placed on the rostra for the consuls on the merit of the victory, of their victory. Eo anno. Oh, yeah, this is what I want. Eo anno etiam Alexandria ab Alexandro Macedone condita est. So, eo anno, in the same year, etiam, furthermore, whatever, Alexandria in Egypt specifically, because there are a bunch, by Alexander the Macedonian, was founded. Now, one, I love me some Alexander, and I will find any opportunity to talk about him or to find anything out, or to read anything about him. So seeing this is super cool to me. Two, I really like when sources give reference dates for this kind of stuff, for what else is happening in the world. In fact, I just like seeing that in general. So it's just really cool to think about while the Romans were fighting against their Latin allies, because the Latins wanted more representation, of course, Alexander was off doing his thing, except maybe not really, because this war against the Latins dates to, at least Livy puts it in the during the consulship of Titus Manlius Torquatus, which is around 340 BC. And Alexander didn't start his campaign against Persia until 336 BC, so yeah. It's also estimated that Alexandria was founded around 331 BC. So, yeah, A bit off there, Eutropius. Still cool attempt nonetheless, though, and I appreciate it greatly. But either way, that is the whole of Chapter 7. So, let's get to a full Latin reading and a full English reading. Latini, qui noluerant milites dare, hoc quoque a Romanis exigere coeperunt. Ut, unus consul ex eorum, alter ex Romanorum populo crearetur. Quodcum esset negatum, bellum contra eo susceptum est, et ingenti pugna superati sunt. Ac de his perdomitis triumphatum est. Statuae consolibus ob meritum victoriae in rostra dispositae sunt. Eo anno etiam Alexandria ab Alexandro Macedone condita est. The Latins, who had not wanted to give soldiers, also began to demand this from the Romans. That one consul would be elected from their people, the other from the people of the Romans. When which demand was refused, a war against them was undertaken, and in a huge battle, they were overtaken, and a triumph was had over these defeated peoples. Statues were placed on the rostra for the consuls on account of the merit of their victory. In the same year, indeed, Alexandria was founded by Alexander the Macedonian. If you are here at the end of the video, thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments or improvements that you can make to my translation, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd love to read them and learn and improve my own Latin. But anyways, next time, we will be getting to another great war that the Romans will have to face against some more Italians to the south called the Samnites. Valete, viatores.